So there's a meme that's been going around recently that you might have seen having to do with LeBron James, and it basically is making fun of sensationalized sports headlines and graphics that look like this. They typically say something like, LeBron James reportedly, and then him making a rookie mistake having to do with computers, completely unrelated to basketball, and that's the joke. Apparently this meme is actually a couple years old, but it's had a resurgence on Twitter in the past week, and the first one that I saw was from another YouTuber, Enderman. He tweeted one that kind of went viral, and the one he made was, LeBron James reportedly picked update and shutdown in the start menu. Truly dramatic news. And this was actually part of like a chain of quote retweets of similar memes. The one he quoted was, LeBron James reportedly imported a GIF into Vegas Pro, and I guess that apparently causes it to crash. And that one was a response to, LeBron James reportedly forgot to delete the meta.inf folder. I think that has to do with Minecraft. If you install mods, you have to delete this folder or else it doesn't work. And I thought these were pretty hilarious, so I made the first one that came to my head, which had to do with people forgetting to set the refresh rate high when you get a high refresh rate monitor. I actually did this when I first got a high refresh rate monitor in like 2015. I didn't realize you had to do that for like a day or two, and I was like, maybe it looks different, and then I realized. And this one actually really blew up. It's got like 55,000 likes or something at the moment, but that's not really what surprised me. What surprised me was all the people that responded or retweeted saying how they only learned you had to do this from this meme that I posted. I actually thought this was like a problem of the past and that Windows was better at detecting the frame rate and automatically setting it, but apparently not. There were like dozens of people who said this, and that's just the ones that actually said something and replied. So considering it got like over 1 million impressions, I wouldn't be surprised if like hundreds of people might have learned about this, or if they don't have a high refresh rate monitor yet, maybe now they know to do that in the future. Anyway, I thought it'd be fun to go through a bunch of these that I saved, and you can see how for some of these people they went a very long time without realizing that they were not using the proper refresh rate. This guy says, dude, I might end it all, and he has a screenshot of the refresh rate stuck at 60 hertz. This next person, this is how I found out my monitor was at the wrong refresh rate from seeing a meme. I can imagine. This person just says, wait. And I have to imagine they rushed to the settings and then realized their worst fear. This guy says, I've been using 60 hertz on 144 hertz cable monitor. Bro, what the f? Slatty says, this meme unironically got me to remember to change the refresh rate on my new monitor. Thanks, LeBron. Although I do wonder how many people actually think the headline is real. This guy, me for the past 3 months, oof. And another, I hate that this is how I learned my $400 monitor wasn't running at full max. Really sucks for this next guy. I'm afraid I didn't know this was actually a thing. I've been playing at 60 hertz for 2 years now. Even worse for the next guy, 3 whole years. Then there's a screenshot of him at 60 hertz in the settings. Another guy just says 2 years. This one's in French, but it just says, I can't believe it. And then I think that's how they write ha ha ha. Another one, oh my God, what the f? I like this one. You guys will never believe what I just did after this tweet. Wait, is this a thing? Unfortunately, it is. This guy was running a full 100 hertz slower. He says, I had my monitor set to 60 hertz when I could have been 160 for like an entire year. I can't believe I didn't think of it. This person said, this made me remember to change mine in the new PC. I may be stupid. At least it sounds like it hasn't been too long. Another person that just accepts it. So this is really how I figure out how to change the monitor's refresh rate, huh? Again, literally got 100 times smoother. How did I not know this? I like this one too. He retweeted and said, guys, you would not believe what I just found out. Another person who says, this cannot be how I found out. Tyler says, this was me before seeing this tweet. And finally, this guy's response is definitely understandable. I can't fucking believe that this is how I discovered that I've made this mistake. I've had my monitor for 2 fucking years on 60 hertz. Why the f didn't it change automatically anyway? Definitely understandable, and he kind of has a point. I mean, it's like, why doesn't Windows maybe do a better job at detecting this, or maybe having the user test it or something? Or maybe the monitor manufacturers should maybe place an insert in the box that says in big bold letters, remember to change the refresh rate in Windows, because there might be a lot of people who literally don't realize they're not using the monitor that they bought. And I really wonder if this explains all the people who try to say that high refresh rate is not noticeably different than 60 hertz. it might be that they just don't have it enabled without realizing it. So yeah, pretty unfortunate for the people who had to learn about this from a meme in their Twitter timeline instead of, learning about it sooner, but better late than never, I guess. And I wonder how many people are going to learn about it from watching this video about the meme about that. So yeah, just a fun little video. I kind of took a break for the past week and a half, but I'm back. But if you're feeling up for it, if you want to keep watching, the next video I have is 17 more computer tricks that you'll wish you knew sooner. These aren't so devastating to learn, they're more just cool. I'll put that link right there you can click on. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.